Hey crafty people, welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Okay, so welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be working on the signatures for the butterfly journal that I've been working on for what seems like ever. So let's get started and we'll go through the process. So what I've got in all of these bags are digital papers. And this is one of just random papers. That's not good. We'll start with this red envelope because if you've been playing along, watching my videos for the butterfly journal, what my plan is to do is kind of a rainbow progression of the pages in the journal. So we're going to start with red. So here are some pages that are red. Oh dang nabbit, I don't remember which digital this is. So I've got these guys printed out. And then this is one created with a stencil and coffee dyeing and mica sprays. That's more of a corally colored one. I'm gonna set that aside. I think I'm gonna use that. And then these I know are the my Porch Prints Dark Botanicals. And what I'm thinking of doing, because the double page spreads like this aren't always matching up color-wise, is we're going to chop this page off. And so for most of my printing, I print on Hammermill 60-pound color copy paper because it's more economical than photo paper, which I know a lot of junk journal makers use. But I have found for these where it's a lot of dark printing, it works out much better if I use the photo paper. So these guys are photo paper, these are not. And we're gonna have to figure out what we're doing on the back sides because we are not leaving those white. All right, so let's set those aside. I know what I wanna do with this guy, or at least half of this guy. So we're gonna cut this page in half. We're gonna set this piece aside, and that was not exactly in half. I should have just measured because that would have made more sense and probably would have got me a better cut. Oh well, too late now. And let's see, let's do it on, let's see, do we want to do it on the back of this page? Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by folding this page in half. I've got a dog who I think is contemplating the meaning of life out there and or possibly coming inside. Like he's just kind of standing. And I don't know if he wants in or if he knows if he wants in. All right, so what we're gonna do is take this page and just verify we're lining up correctly. See, it's overhanging a little bit. There he goes, he does want in. So let me go let him in, and what we'll do is we'll cut just a sliver off so it fits right. All right, let's just cut down a sliver off of this. And then what I'm gonna do before we glue this on, I'm gonna grab a brush and some lumberjack plaid. scrap piece of paper, and we're just gonna add some ink along here so that there isn't white showing. And I am gonna just ink along the edge of this. And then I am gonna glue it down, and we're gonna do it as a top pocket. So I'm gonna run glue down the edge, along the bottom and up the side. Out of the way so you can see what I am doing. And then I'm just gonna have that stay up, and we're gonna go like this. And see, my sliver was a little bit more of a sliver in some spots, but it's red, so it'll be less noticeable. And then there we go. We've got a top pocket up here. And what I will do is I will usually add just a piece of coffee dyed like loose leaf paper in there with a tab on it to fill a big pocket like that. So that's what we're gonna do on that side. This side, I think what I'm gonna do is grab one of these. Now this is an idea I got from Gail Agostinelli, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna ink around the edges on this. I am going to actually take this to my sewing machine and do some stitching around the edges, glue this down as a journaling spot, and so it just adds a little bit more interest and it's not a fully white page. But let's go ahead and do our inking. Oh, look, we're sticking above the top a little bit. I may do a little trimming off on that. And I'm gonna grab a bigger brush for this. Oh, that's not the right one. The black handle brushes in my carousel are for oxides, and the colored brushes are for distress inks, because you don't want to contaminate your distress ink with oxide by mixing your brushes. So if you've only got one set of brushes, you're just going to make sure you want to clean them off before switching between oxide and ink. All right, so we're gonna come back to this after I do some sewing on my sewing machine, which I'm not gonna do on camera because there's just no good way for that. So this is gonna be one of the pages in there. All right, that'll work. This is gonna go in, so let's, I think maybe go like that. And I'm really trying to decide how many pages I'm gonna have in each signature. This journal's gonna be huge. Okay, so let's see. We've got that one, we've got that one. Let's fold this one that go in this way. So I accidentally bought the wrong size of paper the last time I ordered more of the copy paper. And so instead of getting 8.5 by 11, I got 17 by 11, and I didn't feel like returning it for some insane reason. And so I decided to trim down all of the pages before printing. So this one I think may be off on its sizing. Let's just see, because it's not folding exactly straight on me. Yeah, it's like a hair off. Hopefully now that will still fold a little wonky, but a little less wonky. All right, so if we do that and that, and then we'll figure out what we're doing in a minute. And then I want to definitely use this one. And we'll stick that one on there. I feel like I'm gonna have too many pages. I think for this one, I wanna do a pocket where this is. So what we are going to do right now, so that I remember that's what I want to do, is we're going to go ahead and cut out our oval shape. All right, so to finish this page, I'm gonna need to print it out again, because that way when we line it up, when there's nothing in the pocket, you'll see that. So let's go ahead and fold this in half though, because what I'll probably do to avoid adding too much extra bulk, since there's so much stuff I want to do for this, is cut this page in half so that I can just back this portion. And yeah, like this is, I really did not do a great job cutting these pages before printing on them. All right, let's grab our dauber and ink inside the edge of this, just so that it hides any white. I'm trying to see if I've got any packet paper here so we can go ahead and add the pocket. Let's see. Let's see how well you can see. I think we're gonna go with this. All right, let's go ahead and I'm gonna try and get this stuff to peel off. But if I can't, we'll just leave it on. And I think I want the texture side out. Do I want texture side out or texture side in? Yeah, that gives an interesting little texture. So yeah, let's go texture side out. Let's glue it down. So yeah, this is going to be kind of a hodgepodgey kind of video where we just work on figuring out what I have that's ready to go for the signatures and what I need to do for the signatures. And I'll probably do some of the stuff on camera, because for some of the white pages, I'm gonna explain to you what I like to do. And let's just clean up all the glue mess. And what I think I'm also gonna do, which I think will help with things going in and out of the pocket, is put just tape along the edges. I'm not going to worry about over here, because I did a similar pocket, and you know what, I should put some glue so that that glues down a little more. As I was saying, I did a similar pocket in a Halloween journal last year, and I struggled with things going in and out of the pocket. So when we add the backing page, it's going to go here, I'm going to do gussets along it to give more space for the pocket. So I don't need to worry about over here, because the gusset's going to cover that. And we will get to that later. And this goes this way. And yeah, my pages are all kinds of wonky. Perhaps keeping the 11 by 17 paper wasn't the best idea. All right, so this is gonna go in our signature. All right, it goes, what way does it go? It goes like this. All right, that, and then it goes like that. Conceivably, we could do it here, but that's gonna just add way more thickness than I want at this point. I do really want this page, and I kind of want to do this page too, although I'm thinking this is gonna be way too thick of a signature. 1, 2, 4, 5. 5 pages, and I don't want that the center page, so we're definitely going to add at least one more page. Let's let's do this and we'll see where we get to with the rest of the pages for the rest of the signatures, because yeah, this sucker's gonna be a large journal because I have too many ideas that I want to stuff into this one journal. All right, so for now, this is going to be red, but I also wanted to mix in pink with the red, and I've got a ton of freaking pink stuff too. All right, let's see, what do we got in the pink? Way too much. So I might not be doing the pink with the red. Pink might get its own signature because all right, so I've got this page. Oh, I've got the splat page. That's definitely got to go in. I've got the junk journal envelope pocket page also going in for sure. This one we're going to hold on. Let's flip this over because I also have this one. So I may be making a couple of journals. Because my thought process was I was going to do a rainbow journal and that I was going to end up having way too much stuff to go into a rainbow journal. And so was going to end up doing individual colored journals. All right, so yes, on that page, we've got this one. And then these are all digitals and so many digitals. Oh, we're definitely going to do a separate pink one. Definitely think there's going to be a pink journal. So let's go through and decide how many digitals do I have. I've got that is going to be I did the decision problem. Yeah. I feel these are softer than some of the other elements, like for this signature, because we've got that's really vibrant, that's really vibrant. So let's set these guys aside, and actually I think those will go nicely with that one. So we're going to set those aside to be a separate journal. Kind of want to do one of these big, beautiful, bold. I feel like this might be LianaScraps, but I'm not 100% sure. And these, again, are on the softer side. So let's set those aside for that journal. I love these. This one, we're going to do this one. And then let's pick one of these pages. All right, so right now I'm tossing up the idea of either cutting both of these apart and using these on one on here and maybe one on the other, another page. Yeah, I think I kind of like that idea. All right, let's set that page aside, trim these two down. One like that. That is not what we want for the center. Maybe we'll end up switching how we fold this and put that in the center so we have the big pretty picture in the center. And then I feel like it's a waste of a good coffee dyed paper to do a pocket on a, like that big of a pocket on a coffee dyed paper. So maybe we will grab this one. This one can be our center spread. With a pocket like so. That goes in like that. And since I already showed you how I would add the pocket, I'm gonna do that off camera so that you're not bored to tears watching me do the same thing over and over again, especially since we've got many more. Many more to do. So we've got red, pink. The pink is thicker than the red signature. This is gonna be such a gator mouth of a journal. All right, orangey stuff. And I will link my playlist down below, which has like all sorts of videos showing you how I made the various things that we are putting in. So this is one of the other splat pages, and I have picked out what I want to put on here, but it needs something so that it stands out. So we're gonna have to do that at some point. All right, so we got this page and this page. Got that one. I think I want this for the center. So let's go ahead and fold that and stick that down as our centerpiece. Oh, we did a junk mail envelope insert page for this one. Oh, I already stenciled on the back of that page. And did some stencil stamping, and yet yeah, let's go ahead and do this one in here. Let's see where we're at. Where we're at is Sarah has way too much stuff for one journal. Yeah, I kind of just went to town printing stuff out. All right, I think I'm going to save this for another journal. And I definitely want to put one of these in this signature. So I think I like this one better. Let's go with this one. I feel like it needs one more digital page in here. Like I feel like that's what it needs. So let's pick out, and I feel like I want to do another one of these pages. I really like this one. And I will leave the information down below as to where these digitals came from. I don't know, it feels like it just needs one more page right here. All right, so orange, yellow. And we're gonna go back and deal with our white pages in a bit. Right now, I just wanna get the first step of the signatures together. All right, we got another splat page. And another one of these. I think I put this in thinking I'd just use this half. That's gonna go over there. All right, we've got this. Oh, this is a LianaScraps, and I just love these two pages. This is ink and page. As much as I love this, woo! There's a Crafty next to me. Oh, and I forgot I brought over some book page. Let's see if I was thinking this one would be nice in the orange one. Let's go ahead and pull those over and maybe ditch one of the, I really like those though. All right, we're just gonna stick this in. Because I also really like the idea of this book page. And I know it's sticking out, but we have options. For example, we can fold it over. What I may do is trim this bit off and then fold it over, because then we'll lose less image, I think. All right, that's what we're gonna do. We'll do that in a second. Do we like this page better? think we're gonna go with this one. So there we go. We'll do that there. And this is Edith Holden. Let's see what color butterflies we've got going on the few I pulled out that has snake, not that page. Just not feeling them with the color palette that I got going on so far. And I'm also thinking I'm gonna save this for a separate journal. We're gonna set that aside. We're gonna definitely use this guy, I think. And it must be made. There are too many pages to play with. Oh, yes, we'll go with this one. Definitely need to put some washi down the center, I think, of that spine. On that. Absolutely yes on this page. And my thought process was I was going to combine some of the colors into a single signature, but the red and the pink got, like, it was going to be red and pink and then orange by itself and yellow and green. I knew I was thinking of putting yellow and green together because of this one. So we may pull out some green and work it into, I think we're going to make this one the center, at least for now. Let me go grab the green, because I know there's not a ton, I don't think, of green. So maybe we can work the green into this signature as well. That. Yeah, see, not as much green. Oh, see, let's swap out our ledger page. Let's use that one. Oh, and this is, I did a washi page. That's kind of cool. And all right. Now, all right, I definitely want this one, and I think I definitely want that one. And I took out the yellow one of these, so let's go with the green one. Not sure why I thought this one for the green signatures. Set that aside. And let's go ahead and add this one. And I think what we'll do is add this as a pocket on the back of that. All right, I think that's gonna make up this signature. May have to trim this one down because it's going to be way too tall. How tall of a page is this? Yeah, that's too tall. So, since I've already stuck that down on that page, and I did that video last year because it was inspired by Crafty by Tony. All right, we need to bring this down to 8.5. So we're just going to cut that sliver off the top. I'm gonna cut a sliver off of this one. Ooh! I completely bumped you on that one. All right, let's just... pull our signature back over. I think that's gonna be the first page of this signature. We're gonna slip this guy in right here. And when it's too long, well, that's going to be a bit of a problem now, isn't it? Oh. refolding it. So that'll actually fit in a signature. There we go. That works okay. Set that aside. Let's move on to blue. So we've got this guy. I definitely want to use him. Put that aside for a sec. And I've got the splat page. So we got two bulky ones for this one. Let's look at the rest. These are my Porch Prints. I think this is FantasyaDigitals. I forget who that one is. Oh, this is one of the ones we did. I did a video on this and this and this. I think I definitely want this one and this one. One of these guys. I feel like this is a good transition from the green to the blue. I think we're gonna make this the center, but we're gonna just fold it the other way around. So we've got our ledger center there. All right, let's fold this one. Let's go this way. All right, one more purple. These are some inked envelopes, which we may stick in signatures. Oh, and I've got some. This is beeswaxed paper. So much stuff. I have been making so much stuff, and these are just random. All right. And these are some coffee filters that have, I feel like Lindy's Stamping Gang stuff on them, and they are rainbowy. Let's set those. Stay. See what's in here first, and then figure out what we're doing. All right, I'm going with this one for sure. I feel like I love these, but I think they're just a little too atmospheric for the other stuff I'm putting in. So we're gonna grab this. This one's on my Porch Prints. Like you saw a blue one and a green one, and I have the purple. Possibly you. No, you definitely are gonna go like, let's start building that guy as a signature. Like, I'm gonna do that one with that for sure, because it's got the poppies. I'll set those aside together. Oh, I also got this one. Although I'm thinking, since I don't think I'm gonna put those two together, I'm gonna save this for another journal. Oh yes, I want that one. This one I've already done the back side of, as I did with this one. Still feeling a little atmospheric for me. Let's hold on. I think I may do that one in there since it's already done. got purple, we've got blue, we've got green, orange, red, and pink. Oh, she's gonna be a chunky monkey since I think she's gonna be a 3.5 inch spine, just to give them some room, since I know they're gonna get chunkier once I add everything. All right. Okay, so I apparently haven't been filming for the last like 45 minutes when I thought I was filming. So I have pulled out all of the papers for the signatures and made all of the decisions as to papers, I think, although I don't know, because I'm realizing it's a lot of just coffee dyed paper and digitals, and I usually integrate some more interesting stuff in, and so I don't know, but I don't know how well you can see that this is going to be here. Let me scoot the mat up so you can see the numbers on it. This is going to be a chunky monkey. I'm thinking it may end up being like a 3.5 inch spine, just so there's plenty of room to add all of the stuff that we're going to be adding. And then I was working on, I'm really bummed because I didn't film what I did with this page. So what I'll do is I'll grab another one and show you what I did here in a sec. Let's finish working on this one. So for this one, I grabbed another one of those. So I made a couple of these, as I pointed out, we grabbed one for the red signature that I'm going to take to my sewing machine and stitch around. And in case you don't have a sewing machine, what I did for this one was I grabbed a pen, which actually has orange ink in it, and inked all around and drew little dash marks to mimic stitching all around, and then added a washi sticker butterfly. It's been a long weekend already. It's just Saturday and it's Labor Day weekend, so thankfully it is a long weekend. But my dad came over to help me with a couple things, and in order to do one of the projects, I needed to clear my craft room. So yeah, I was up late last night moving crap out of here and putting it away. So let's just go ahead and glue this one on. Now you could glue it on as a pocket or a tuck spot, but these guys are going to be chunky monkeys as is. So I think I'm just gonna glue her straight down. And all I did was I took some coffee dyed, these are like the offcuts from digitals with fussy cuts. I save them and coffee dye them and usually stamp on them, but I saw this idea on Gail Augustinelli's YouTube channel. I have no idea if I'll be able to find the exact video where she did this. But basically she just glued coffee dyed strips or old book page strips together to create a piece to go in the journal, and it's a great journaling spot. So, and it's a great way to cover up a blank page on a digital. So there we go. Okay, now the page that I didn't make on screen because I didn't hit record after pausing is this one, which is this is, I think it's Butterflies of, what's the name of the book? Is it on there? It's like the Butterflies of Great Britain, I think. And let's see, I know I had another one of those pieces out here, but so what I did for that page, because they are too wide, is first the one I decided on? No, that's not the one I was going to use. It's going to be this one. Oh, yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to show you this and then I'm going to call it quits for tonight because, oh, I am tired. All right. So I'm going to trim a little excess off on this one, but I don't want to trim all of it off. So we're just going to go to about there and need to make a decision on the other side because it's got an interesting picture. So we may be doing something slightly different. All right. So then I'm going to fold it over so that I'm at like 5.5-ish. And then for this one, let's see, what is getting us to 5.5? ish cover. You know what, we can trim a little off. Let's go ahead and do that, because it's not going to cut off that butterfly. I was worried it was going to cut off that butterfly if we cut some off. It's not, so we're going to do that, because then we won't cover up this butterfly when we fold over. And then what we'll do is fold over to 5.5-ish. Will take my notch punch and kind of go about there-ish, notch punch them. And I'm just going to take, I think for this one, because I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to use this now, I'm just going to do brown with like vintage photo, just to make it stand out a little better. Then we'll glue these shut, going across the top and the bottom. And then this one definitely will get a bunch of decorating. This one probably just maybe a label up there. And so we've got 2 little pockets, and then this will fit nicely in a signature. Let's set that aside. I'm debating whether I should do the next step now or come back and do it later. Let's do it real quick. All right. So what I like to do when I don't print something double-sided, and as I commented in the bit that got cut off, I pick out my signatures off camera and decide which ones are going to get a double-sided printing and do that. But I folded everybody before thinking about that, and so they're not going to get double-sided printed because my printer will not be happy if I try and do that. So what I do is there's 2 basic things I do to deal with a blank white page if I haven't printed double-sided. One is stamping and one is stenciling. So let's start, I think with this one, what I'm going to start with is I'm going to grab a big blendy brush and some Kitsch Flamingo, because this one's getting that glued on. I want to do down the center so that we don't have to worry about the side showing white. Now you of course could just ink blend, and I have done that, white all across this page, but I'm gonna kind of do a mixture of blending and stamping for this one. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and just get this one added on. And this one, I think what I'm going to do is make it a side pocket. So I'm going to put my finger where I don't want to glue and run glue all along here, because we've got another one of these for this one. We'll make that one a top pocket. All right, so we've got that on that half. This side, we're going to do stamping. So let me grab my stamping mouse pad. I'm going to grab a stamp. Let me get that. Hold on a sec. All right, so I have grabbed Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous Tiny Prints CMS 460, because I really like this for doing backgrounds on blank pages. So I'm gonna put it on a stamping block. I'm gonna ink it up with some Kitsch Flamingo. And I'm not too worried about this getting on there perfectly, because again, it's going to be a background. I'm probably going to put some kind of pocket or other decoration on this page. So we're just going to kind of make sure we're at the top-ish. And lift and see it's not fully on there. And I'm definitely going to do some more ink around the edges And actually, if you go on while it's still wet, you can kind of smudge it up a little bit. And I'm not too bothered by that because, again, we're going to put something on this page. Don't know what yet, but there'll be something. And it will disguise the imperfections. Like, this is just to break up the fact that this is a white page. So there you go. There's option 1 for dealing with a blank digital page. And actually it's option 2 because we did the pocket over here using another digital to cover it up. So there's that. And you could do this with scrapbook paper or book page, you know, create a full page pocket to deal with a white page. So there's that one. And then we've got another one. And what we're going to do for this one is some stenciling. So let me get that stuff out. Okay, so again, because we're adding the digital on here as a pocket, I'm going to ink down the center. And for this one, we decided we're going to do this one top pocket. So I'm going to, again, put my finger where I don't want to glue. All right, so that part's done. I need this now. I've grabbed my Altenew sticky mat. Help out here. And this is a stencil from PolkaArtStudio. It's a new to me one. And I'm just gonna go to town stenciling on this page. Trying to be gentle and not smooshing my stencil. Now I'm using my distress ink. You could also use oxide, and oxide tends to blend a little more smoothly than the distress ink, I think because of the pigment in it, but I started with the distress ink, and so that's just where we're gonna go. So there you go. That's what that looks like. So I am going to do that for all of the blank digital pages in all of the signatures. And once I'm done doing that, I'll come back and we'll figure out what we're doing next. So I'll be back. Okay, so I have finished with the signatures, and I actually did put them in. I made the journal cover in my last video, but I'll show you how they go in because it's pretty straightforward. So you just lift up the elastic and slide them in. So since it's not sewn in, you can change stuff out, take things out, put stuff in, remove your signatures, stick them back in, all that good stuff. So there are all the signatures, and I'll do a quick flip through so you can see the stenciling and stamping that I did. And it lays out pretty flat, especially as you get further in. So did that stamping there, stenciling here. That's a Stamperia stencil. That's a Tim Holtz stamp. I did do the stitching on the coffee dyed strip pages. So there we've got some stitching. This one I beeswaxed the paper, and the backside didn't come out as great as I would have liked. So I'm probably gonna put something that covers most of this up because, yeah, I don't love how it turned out. I don't know, it might be because I printed this on photo paper, so it might not have done as well with the beeswaxing as the regular copy paper. Tim Holtz stamp. Oh, and I went ahead and attached this, and I just folded over some strips of paper and glued them on to give it kind of a gusset. I realized after I did it that I probably should have done that on camera for you. But I will try and remember to leave a link to the video where I did this last year for Halloween journal. Stampin'. That's PolkaArtStudio stencil. Oh, and the stamp. That's a Tim Holtz stamp. PolkaArtStudio stencils, Tim Holtz stamp, PolkaArtStudio stencils. I will leave a link to their website. That's a Stencil Girl stencil I used to make those pages. Tim Holtz stamp, PolkaArtStudio stencil, Stencil Girl stencils. That is, PolkaArtStudio stencil in the background. Tim Holtz stamp. That's the rest of that PolkaArtStudio stencil. It's a PolkaArtStudio stencil. Tim Holtz stamp. Tim Holtz stamp. And there we go. That is the end. So there are all of our signatures. So in the next video, we will start working on filling the pages. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting.